Lando Norris and Max Verstappen clashed fiercely at the Austin GP, with things heating up around lap 52. Both drivers went off track after a tough defensive move by Verstappen. Although Verstappen was technically within the rules since he was leading at the apex, McLaren believes they have new data that could help overturn the penalty imposed on Norris. This change would reclaim Norris's third-place finish and add a point to his overall tally from the weekend. But can the FIA make such a post-race change? And was the initial penalty issued too hastily, as Norris suggests? The intense on-track duel between Norris and Verstappen reached its peak on lap 52. At turn 12, Norris tried to overtake on the inside but didn't manage to stay ahead at the critical moment, the corner apex. This allowed Verstappen to defend more aggressively, resulting in both drivers going off track. However, Norris feels he had a fair chance to keep the position, as he was temporarily ahead when Verstappen made the tough defensive move. Now, McLaren has decided to contest the penalty by launching an official appeal to the FIA, seeking to get Norris's podium finish back, a move that could be just as controversial as the penalty itself. The main question is whether the FIA was justified in penalizing Norris. The penalty stemmed from an off-track overtaking move, and Norris was already close to receiving a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Thus, McLaren's appeal raises questions. Is it wise to challenge the FIA's decision? Some believe it would have been better if Norris had allowed Verstappen to stay in the lead, since Verstappen would likely have gotten a warning, enabling Norris to make another attempt at overtaking in the final laps, while Verstappen, on older tires, would have had to race cautiously. McLaren's investigation in recent days reportedly turned up telemetry data from Verstappen's car, which might reveal that he braked later than usual to ensure he was ahead at the corner apex. If true, this move could be seen as reckless, even potentially putting both their races at risk. Even if a crash had occurred, Norris, who's eyeing a maiden championship, would have paid the higher price. This incident recalls the 2021 Brazilian GP, where Hamilton also experienced a similar battle. Hamilton has also weighed in on Norris's penalty, describing the intense nature of the US GP and expressing his view on Verstappen's defensive style. Meanwhile, McLaren has cited Article 14.1, one of the FIA International Sporting Code, to support their case. This rule allows a decision to be reconsidered if new, crucial information emerges, such as the telemetry from Verstappen's car or any additional camera angles that were unavailable during the race. This new evidence clause has been invoked by McLaren as grounds for a hearing. During the last 4 laps of the race, the stewards made a quick decision, perhaps under pressure, to avoid disrupting the race's momentum. Past instances have shown that post-race penalties can dampen the excitement, so it's likely the officials aim to keep the race thrilling in real time. Since Norris overtook outside the track without yielding back the position, he received a penalty for gaining an advantage. McLaren, however, believes that Norris had no choice due to Verstappen's bold defending. McLaren's team principal, Andrea Stella, has stated that Verstappen's defensive style at turn 12 didn't leave enough space for Norris to execute his move cleanly, leading both cars to exit the track. Stella expressed surprise that the stewards didn't consult the drivers for their take after the race. Instead, they delivered a quick ruling without the in-depth analysis that McLaren feels was warranted given the complex circumstances. Meanwhile, Verstappen didn't shy away from responding to McLaren's complaints, implying that he saw nothing wrong with his approach. He noted that McLaren had voiced plenty of complaints lately and joked that he doesn't understand why people are questioning his strategy. Verstappen expressed that his racing approach is hard yet fair. He believes the FIA's rules have evolved so much over the years that drivers practically need a rulebook in the car. While he always considers the regulations in wheel-to-wheel encounters, Verstappen remarked that he's skilled at positioning his car to avoid exceeding track limits, something he showcased at the start of the race in turns 1 and 12. As the debate continues, it's evident that Verstappen's aggressive yet strategic racing style is well within his grasp. His positioning at turn 1, where he wasn't penalized, demonstrates this. Even though both Norris and Verstappen lost a spot to Charles Leclerc, Verstappen's teammate, the Monegasque driver acknowledged Verstappen's unique skill in defending without leaving any extra room for his competitors. Racing against Verstappen, he observed, requires a level of adaptability that not many drivers have. Similar incidents in the past, like the 2021 Brazilian GP with Hamilton, highlight how certain racing moves and defending styles have been consistently controversial. Hamilton recently shared that back then, as with this Austin GP, the other driver would often hold his ground under braking, forcing him off track with little alternative. The repeated nature of such incidents suggests that some drivers, including Hamilton, feel changes are needed. With all these aspects under review, will the FIA intervene following McLaren's latest appeal? And if they do, will it stir even more controversy? Ultimately, the FIA made a decision based on their rulebook, which could be challenging to contest. They can't penalize Verstappen simply for maximizing what the rules allow. However, many believe a change in the regulations might be needed to address these ongoing disputes. What's your take on this? Should the FIA overturn the penalty, or should they stick with their original call? Share your thoughts below. And if you want to catch up on the surprising changes happening in Red Bull's driver lineup, check out the video linked on your screen now.